My name is Brian Gutierrez. I was in a motorcycle accident on August 2nd. Me and a couple of friends met up with another group that one of them knew, and we were on our way to Santa Fe through Jemez on a nice, beautiful morning ride. We were trying to get out to Jemez for like a breakfast, lunch kind of thing, just spend the whole day riding around. On our way up, we pulled off for one stop just to kind of regroup, because once we turned off for the road through to Jemez, our group spread out and cars just kind of started getting in between us. So we all regrouped for a little bit and just hung out for a couple minutes and then continued on with our ride. As we went on, more cars got in between us. The group got real separated again. And was going through some winds and turns. And as I was going through, a truck with a camper trailer attached to it came through the double yellow line where more than half of the truck was in my lane. So I had to correct out of my turn to avoid getting crushed by a truck in its trailer, and attempted to get back into the curve unsuccessfully, where I ended up hitting a guardrail, and I rode the guardrail for a little ways and then ended up stopping by crashing into a sign on the side of the road. When I hit the guardrail and the sign, my helmet kept me from getting fractures in my skull, but I ended up fracturing part of my orbital socket, my right wrist, and my L5 and 6 in my neck. After the accident, an ambulance from Los Alamos, which was the closest area, picked me up, took me to their hospital, and then I was put on a life flight from Los Alamos to UNM and spent the rest of my time recovering there. I was concerned about the fractures in my neck. At the time, my whole left side of my face was swollen to where I couldn't see for the first couple of days out of my left eye. I was real concerned about if I was going to be able to use my eye after the accident, or if it was going to have to be removed, or how extensive those injuries were. I knew that they brought a plastic surgeon in that was going to reconstruct my orbital socket, and still at that point I didn't know how extensively messed up my face was or wasn't, so I was concerned with how well they were going to be able to do it, if I would have a big swollen face for the rest of my life, or even be able to see out of that eye anymore. So it was kind of concerning. With my right wrist fracture, I was just concerned about how long it'd be to get back into work. I just wanted to make sure that I was being represented appropriately. I investigate cases against nurses, and we advise them, if they want an attorney to make sure their rights are being protected, then go ahead. And I've never had an insurance claim. The biggest accident I got into was a fender bender years and years ago. So not really knowing the ins and outs of the insurance world, I wanted to make sure that everything was being handled appropriately and everything was covered medically as well, because a lot of the surgeries that I went through, I thought were going to be seen as cosmetic, especially because of a reconstruction for my face. I didn't know how much of that would have been covered by an insurance, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't bankrupt at the end of everything. I have a family with 4 children, so paying tens of thousands of dollars for just what is seen as cosmetic surgery wasn't something I was interested in trying to do on my own. So as soon as I retained my attorney, everything went amazingly. I didn't have to worry about anything. They took care of everything from getting my medical records, police reports, basically anything and everything you could think and not think of that needs to be covered in this process was covered. I honestly thought my case was handled extremely fast. I was expecting it to go on for years and years, but it didn't take that long at all. I felt like everything was done pretty quick in my mind. If anything ever happens in the future, I would recommend New Mexico Biker Lawyer for any of your needs. They handle these cases quickly, effectively, and they take care of everything, so all you have to worry about is recovery. I feel like my recovery is 100%. I've returned to work. I have full range of motion in my wrist. I'm able to turn my head and neck again, which just to begin with, I couldn't even put my head backwards without feeling pain. Every surgery for my face has been done, and I don't have to worry about anything else. The swelling has gone down, and I don't feel like I'm a monster walking through a store after everything. So hiring Ava definitely relieved a lot of stress that I was feeling throughout this entire process. I felt like I didn't have to deal with my insurance or anything else with that. All I was able to do was focus on recovery for that time.